So this is episode 1 of the Construction Trades Leadership Podcast, and my name is Brad Anderson, and I'm your host. And I'm really going to start this whole thing off with just talking about mindset, and specifically about the mindset of getting started with something and not feeling ready you can do something. And that kind of parallels to what we may be going on with starting something like a podcast or a YouTube channel or course, online course, which is what I'm working on doing right now, or at the other end, starting something on a job, becoming a foreman, becoming a project manager, starting your own company. What part of the journey you're on and where you don't think you may be ready. And that's something we all struggle with, and we all look at the types of qualifications we have and what types of qualifications people may think we should need. And if you don't get started though, you'll never know what else you need to learn or how to get better. So I was just thinking about it this morning. What if Michael Jordan didn't want to start playing basketball until he were the best pro in the league at the time? It would have never happened, and he would have never gotten to be where he became the best. So the same thing with any of our endeavors, even though they may be smaller in scale, it's important to get started somewhere, or you're never going to get started. And so thinking that, I've decided I really want to get started with this today, so that's what I'm doing. And kind of goes back to last week with an issue, reminded me of why I really wanted to start this whole program to begin with. I was discussing something with one of our foremen. He's a younger foreman starting off, managing his own jobs, and he's running into issues with the general contractor, doing work out of sequence, and we're trying to help negotiate this whole process where we're not getting screwed as a company, and his days aren't terrible working through ceiling grid or other obstructions, making the work he does 5 times harder, take 5 times as long, and making his days feel 5 times less productive. And in the meantime, we're trying to communicate why that's not a good way for the whole project to be running, not just on our end, but for the whole sake of the general contractor as well, how that will slow down their whole project. And it's just running into situations like this is why I found it's important to make sure that young leaders, young foremen, get the training they need, the skills they need, and get the confidence they need to be able to negotiate these situations, rather than just feeling overwhelmed by them and having no tools in the toolbox, the mental toolbox to deal with it. Next, we'll just back to getting started. You owe it to yourself and to other people to become the best version of you can be. If you sit back and are afraid to take the jump, or you don't feel you're good enough to take the jump, that ends up being a selfish type of fear in itself, because you're not being able to provide all the energy to the world, all your experience, any positive benefits someone else may derive from whatever it is you're trying to do. They're not going to get it from you. So, because you're holding yourself back, and you're holding yourself back to keep yourself comfortable and not go out of your comfort zone. So really that ends up being a selfish act in itself. Okay, well, I think that wraps it up for the first podcast. I know it's not going to be perfect, but that's the whole point of this project, is understanding to start when it's not perfect and realize that we have a lot of growing to do from here. So hope you enjoyed a couple little tidbits, and I'm committing to doing this every week. Today's Monday, Halloween day, so I'm going to be committing to do this every Monday from here on out. And then as things grow, maybe twice a week, and we'll move forward. Okay, thank you very much for listening, everyone. Have a great Monday, great Halloween, and great November coming up. Thank you.